Hey guys, so this week what we are going to be talking about is something very special. It is a great quality for everyone to have, along with acceptance and perseverance and everything else we have talked about. And I hope that you guys can take all of these great qualities as you start your new school year, whether it's in a classroom or it's online, and you can take these qualities with you into your new classes because they will definitely help you have a great school year. All right. So what we're talking about today is kindness. All right. You probably have heard the word before. So kindness is being friendly. What is it? Friendly. It is being generous. What is it? Generous. And it's also being considerate. Everyone say that last word? Considerate. So let's break down what those three things mean. Friendly, generous, and considerate. All right? Well, friendly, you probably have you can guess what it means. It has the word friend in it. So you're treating people like they are your friends. All right? That seems pretty easy. I want you to think of something that you would do for your friend. Like, I know if my friend was having a bad day, I would try to help them feel better. All right. The next one is generous. And if we look at this picture right here, which person do you think is being generous? The girl on this side or the girl on this side? How do I do this? Here it is. Okay. Yes. So this is the girl who is showing she is being generous. She is letting the other girl use her pencil. All right. So this girl is being generous. So, she may need to use that pencil, of course, but she's being really nice because she noticed that the other girl, her pencil is broken. So she's being generous with her own pencils. All right. And the last one is being considerate. All right. So as you notice, this person right here was probably sitting in this chair, but they notice that someone else probably needs that chair. So they are being considerate, or they are thinking about what another person needs. It's just like if you're on the metro and you see someone who might need a seat, you could, I know that I usually, if I see someone, like even a kid who needs a seat, I would stand up and let them have the seat. So that is called being considerate, all right? So I want you guys to think about a time that you have felt unseen. And I don't mean literally like you're playing hide and seek and someone doesn't find you. I want you to think about a time that you might have felt unseen in your class or with your friends. All right. And let's think about Ruby Bridges. All right. Ruby Bridges was going to school. And remember, all of these people, all white people, they did not want her to go to this school. They did not want Black kids and white kids to go to school together. So they are outside yelling at her. All right. I wonder if at this time Ruby felt unseen. She was left out. She was not able to be in a classroom with friends. She was unfortunately the only one there. And I know if I'm a student, I want to go to school with other people, right? So I wonder if she felt unseen. All right? Because she didn't have friends to go to school with. So we are going to read a book today about, let me stop my share really quick and then I will reshare, about a boy who is feeling unseen. This is called The Invisible Boy. What is it called? The Invisible Boy. It is by Tracy Ludwig and illustrated by, remember the illustrator draws the picture, by Patrice Barton, right? So we're going to read about how he feels unseen, and we're going to see who in the book is showing kindness and how they show kindness, all right? Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Mrs. Carlotti has trouble noticing him in the classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie, all right? So I want you guys to notice how the illustrator, the person who draws the pictures, how the illustrator makes Brian a little bit different. Notice that all the other kids look like they have a lot of color in their clothes, but Brian looks a little bit different. He's feeling invisible, all right? Nathan has problems with what Mrs. Carlotti calls volume control. He uses his outside voice too much. And Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space, but Brian doesn't. All right. When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for their kickball teams. So what happens is they choose a kid to be on their team. Micah will choose one person, JT will choose the next person. So the best players get picked first, and then the best friends of the best players, then the friends of the best friends, but only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. JT glances in Brian's directions and just as quickly looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. I wonder how Brian is feeling. This team didn't pick him to be on his team, to be on their team. And this team did not pick him to be on their team. I wonder how Brian is feeling. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friend talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over the pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water slide, adds Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, said Madison. Everyone did except Brian, because he wasn't invited. Once again, I'm trying to think about how Brian is feeling. Everyone else is talking about how they had fun at a birthday party that Brian was not able to go to. How do you think he was feeling? Right. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at the table, doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons scaling tall buildings. Ooh, look, this guy's roasting marshmallows. How delicious. Space aliens locked in intergalactic battles. I got you now. Greedy pirates digging for treasure. Crackers. And superheroes with the power to make things go wherever they want them to go. Hi, friend. Have a cookie. Hi. Oh, I wonder if it's a B for Super Brian. So what is something that Brian is good at? He's good at drawing. Right. Now, on Monday morning, Mrs. Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak a look at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. And they haven't quite made up their minds yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. Have you guys ever used chopsticks to eat before? In certain countries, they use chopsticks instead of forks. See how he's holding him in his hand? He uses them to pinch food and pick it up and eat it. What's that? Asks Madison as she points at Justin's food. It's bulgogi. What? Bulgogi. It's Korean barbecued beef. Grandma made it for me. It's really good. Do you want to try some? Let's see what he says. There's no way I eat bulgogi. Is that what it's called? No, it's bulgogi. But all the kids laugh. All of them, that is, except Brian. He sits there wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. So this reminds me of the other book that we read, The Name Jar. Remember how no one could say the main character's name? Right, her first couple of days of school, people could not, or I mean, it might even last longer than that. No one could say her name. And this instant, Justin is eating his lunch and no one can say the name of the food he's eating because it's different. It's part of his culture. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. Justin, I thought the bulgogi looked good. Brian, yum. Ooh. And he's holding his chopsticks from the air. Wow. I wonder how finding that note made Justin feel. If we look at Justin's face, we see that his mouth is doing a little bit of a smile. So I'm wondering if he's starting to feel better, feel maybe even happy. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. You're Brian, right? Yeah. Thanks for the note. Hi, Justin, Amelia calls out from the tetherball cart. You're up next. Sorry, I gotta go, says Justin. By the way, that's a really cool drawing, he added before taking off. Back in class, Mrs. Carlotti asked the kids to team up in twos or threes for a special project. The kids scurry around the room. Brian heads towards Justin. I'm all ready with Justin, says Emilio. Find someone else. Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there just to swallow him up. Mrs. Carlotti said we can have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio, let him work with us. Okay, I guess, says Emilio. What is the illustrator doing as Justin is starting to be kind to Brian? Look how his drawing changes. Yeah, he's starting to add color to the drawing of Brian. Wow, that's a creative illustrator. Mrs. Carlotti gives the class directions for the project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in that photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. All right, so I see some buildings. Wonder what kind of story they're gonna do. Whoa, cool, says Emilio. What kind of people do you think live in houses like that? I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story, says Justin. He smiles, Brian smiles, and takes out his lucky pen. Wow, so Justin noticed that Brian is a really great drawer. Let's see. Oh, so we see them looking at the picture. Now it looks like they're all doing different jobs. Let's see. Hi, I'm the narrator. Oh, it looks like the story has a pirate in it. Whoa, and a dinosaur in the rain. The crooked story we made up on the spot. Interesting. It's lunchtime again. Brian's least favorite part of the day. After 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else but him. Brian, he hears someone shout. Brian, over here. Brian turns and sees Justin waving him over. Emilio nods at Brian as he makes room for him at the table. Cookie? Thanks. Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not so invisible after all. So I want us to think about the different people who showed kindness during this or in this book. How did Brian show kindness? How did Justin show kindness? Wow. By showing kindness, they were able to make new friends, which is a which is a which is something that you guys can do as you are moving into your next school year. All right. So let's see. Oh, so for your first day of writing for this week, you guys are going to finish the sentence. I can help someone else feel seen by. So Justin does a great job of helping Brian feel seen. He notices that Justin is a great drawer. No, sorry, Justin notices that Brian is a great drawer. So he asks Brian to draw for the group. I wonder how you could help someone else feel seen. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that book and have a great Monday.